Welcome to this special broadcast where we join the global community in commemorating the International Children's Day of Broadcasting. My name is Catherine Nyondo. This year's theme for International Children's Day of Broadcasting is Safeguarding Children in Media and Beyond. The theme reminds us that children need protection not only in content they consume, but also in the way they participate in media and digital platforms. Therefore, today, we reflect on the responsibilities of broadcasters, parents, and the church in ensuring that media becomes a tool of safety, education, and empowerment for our young people. We are honored to be joined by Father Arthur Ntembula. Let us join my colleague Samantha Mumba as she takes up the interview with Father.
Thank you, Catherine. Dear viewers, as all put by Catherine Nyondo, I am Samantha Mumba. I am happy, Father Ntembula, you have made time for this important interview on this important occasion of International Children's Day of Broadcasting. Welcome, Bambo.
Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. And how are you?
Not bad. Yeah.
Thank God. For children out there watching Lumen TV Zambia, what importance does International Children's Day of Broadcasting carry?
This day is very important because this is when we want to underscore or emphasize the importance of giving a microphone to the children. What does that mean? I need to break it down. Giving a microphone to the children means that valuing the voice of the children. That the children are not just people that we broadcast to, but they become people that we broadcast with. And I think that is important. They do have things to tell us as adults, as parents, as society. They do have things they want to express themselves, but sometimes they're not given a platform where they can express themselves, where they can say what they want, what they wish to have, and so on and so forth. So on this day, we want to emphasize the importance of not just maybe giving them a microphone, but also giving them our listening ear, so that we listen to their aspirations. What is it that they want to say to society? What do they need? Do they have any wishes at all? What do they hope to have? What do they hope to be when they grow up? And so on and so forth. So the media becomes a platform where they can express themselves. So this day is significant from that angle. Giving the microphone to the children, but also giving them our listening ear, so that we broadcast with them and we listen to their aspirations and so on and so forth. So it is important.
This year's theme is Safeguarding Children in Media and Beyond. What message does this theme carry for broadcasters and the church?
The key word there is safeguarding. Yeah. The media now has become, especially when you talk of social media, it's become like a net that you throw into the lake and it collects everything, both good and bad things. When if you're a fisher person or you're a fisher woman or a fisherman, you want to catch fish, not so. When you throw a net into the lake, but then you realize that when you pull out that net, it is not just the fish that you're pulling out. It is also other things that you may not need. So you'll have to begin to sort out stuff so that you remain with the fish, you remain with what you need. So social media today has become like that net which you pull out, and it pulls out with it everything that came into contact with it. So the fish, the insects, the roots, the leaves, everything. Now it's up to you to begin to sort out. So now, when you talk about safeguarding, what we are talking about here is the media could have some elements that may not be helpful to the life of the kids. So it is now the responsibility of parents, of society, of adults to ensure that the kids are safeguarded, are protected from things like that. Because the kids are exposed now. They're exposed to things to the content that adults create and put out there for consumption. That space has become a public space. And so, because of that, the kids are not really protected. They are exposed to things that can even destroy them. So when we reflect on this theme, we want to underscore that keyword, safeguarding. That when we log into that space as adults, we begin to clean the space so that should children also have access to that space, they are not exposed to things that they shouldn't see, or things that or content that they shouldn't consume. So I think it is a thoughtful theme for this particular day.
So Father, from the perspective of Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops, what guidance does the church give to these children?
The church is very clear. First of all, the church wants to regard that space, the media space, as a place where we can do mission, where we can do ministry, actually, where we do evangelization. Because the world has moved. We're not just doing evangelization in church, at the parish or in the compound. There's also the virtual world, the virtual community. So the church also has shifted the understanding from just being confined to a physical space to also that space. So from our church point of view, the message that we are always bringing out and carrying with us as far as the media is concerned is that, first of all, let us use this tool to disseminate values, to disseminate the gospel, to disseminate teachings that will not only edify the lives of adults, but also the kids. So our media institutions like Lumen TV, our Catholic radio stations dotted around the country, and many other religious media institutions share this core value of ensuring that the gospel is preached through this instrument. And when we continue to focus on this important aspect, we realize that when our kids are exposed to that media space, that area, that virtual community, they will not only come into contact things, let us call them secular things, but most importantly, they will come into contact things that will build them, because the church is present not only in the physical space, but also in that cyberspace, the virtual community. So what message are we carrying as a church? The message that we are carrying is that we have to use the media to disseminate values that help our kids, values that help society to be transformed. And these values are inspired by the gospel. They're inspired by the Bible. They're inspired by Christ. They're inspired by who we are as Christians. And these are the values that we want to share with the world using that tool, using the tool that we have at our disposal. If it is a cell phone, it is a cell phone. If it is a camera, it is a camera. If it is a microphone, it is a microphone. We use that particular tool to disseminate, not hate, not hatred, not anything else, but values that help not only society, but especially particularly on this day, values that help our kids grow into responsible and God-fearing human beings tomorrow.
Not to cut you short further, but how do we help those children who do not have access to televisions, cell phones, enlightening them more on the International Children's Day of Broadcast?
Of course, it's not all the kids that have access to these instruments, as you rightly put it. If there are adults around that have access to instruments, and there is content, on that platform that can help the kids that do not have access, it now becomes their responsibility, the responsibility that is of the adults, to ensure that the kids that do not have direct access to these instruments also have access to that material. No, it's not every kid that is going to have a cell phone. It's not every kid that is going to have access to internet, or that will have an opportunity to come to the TV and, talk to the camera and so on and so forth. It's not every kid that has that opportunity. But society is a network. Even the family has to be a network. The community has to be a network. And in this network, we want to promote the exchange of values that are in that space, the virtual space, the values that are within the family circles, the values that are within the community circles. And we share, since we are a network, we share these values across. And since the kids, the children are also part of the network, they will eventually come, and access these values that can help them grow into the kind of human beings that they should be. So it's important that even if they do not have direct access to the media, direct access to social media, it's important that the community becomes that network that shares values that are coming both from the physical world, but also from the virtual community.
Why is it important to provide children opportunities to participate in broadcasting while ensuring their protection?
It's because, like we have already put it, kids have something to say. Okay, when you look at a kid, you might be thinking you're looking at somebody who has nothing to offer or nothing sensible to say apart from just crying because I'm Veranjala, or somebody that is just running around the house breaking things and all that. We might want to take kids in that manner, but no. When we and I think through the inspiration of this program that we are having, it's important that society begins to have a paradigm shift in the way we look at the life of a kid, the life of our children in our communities. They do have something to say. They do have ideas that they want to share. They may not share those ideas as in a mature manner as an adult would, but they certainly have something to say. Give them a microphone. In other words, give them a platform when they can come and express themselves. Let them dream. Let them say out their ambitions. It is from those things that they say, that they bring out, that we as adults or as society begin to understand the world that surrounds the life of a kid better. Because the fact that we have kids in our homes and all that does not mean that we really understand their world unless we begin to listen to them. So it's important that also the media gives the kids an opportunity, or is it space, when they can come. For example, they come to Lumen TV and they say their poems. They sing their songs, their kindergarten songs. Let them come and just experience this media environment. That is what is building them in a way that we as adults may not even understand. It will build them. Give them space and let them express themselves in whatever way, the childish way or childlike way or whatever way. Let them come and express themselves. It's important to give the microphone to the kid and give them your listening ear so that they express themselves in order for you as an adult to understand the world that surrounds them.
How best do you think parents and the media can collaborate in safeguarding these children?
Parents, the media, we are all partners. The church, we are all partners. In the olden days, a child was not brought up by a single family. A child was brought up by the whole community. Because as far as the life of a child is concerned, we are all partners, ensuring that kid grows up into something responsible. Okay? Now the responsibility has shifted just to the nuclear family. The responsibility of ensuring that the child grows up in a responsible human being. That has shifted just has been confined to a nuclear family. But I think we should go back to the beginning, when a kid was brought up, not by his or her family, but by the community. Do you know that if an adult, a parent you didn't even know, found you doing something wrong, they had the right to beat you? Yeah. They had the right to beat you because they felt it was also their responsibility to ensure that you don't do things like that. And if you went to your parents and said, "Hey, that one beat me up," your parents will beat you again, because it's a communal, it's a community that has the responsibility to ensure that the kid grows up responsibly. Now, today we're talking about parents and the media. Okay, coming to your question, we can even add the church. This is the community that we have today. So ensuring that a child is responsible or grows up responsibly is not just the responsibility of the family. The media also has a part to play. So the media has to have content that instills values in the kids, because whether I like it or not, kids are exposed to social media. They're exposed to the media in general. They see things, they watch things, even when you are not there as a parent. So there has to be some kind of collaboration, between the media and the church and the parents themselves. There has to be that collaboration whereby when the kids are going to the cyberspace to check what is being posted on social media, it should be something to edify them, to help them grow responsibly. When they come back home within the family circles, the life there also, the environment should help them as well. When they come to church also, as a church, we also do our part. In the end, what are we doing? We are helping this kid to be a responsible human being. So it is not just about the family. It is also about what is being shared, in that cyberspace, and also about what we are teaching as a church. I want also to add this, that there are some parents who feel, or maybe they think, when they give their child an expensive phone, then they have expressed their love for the child. Okay, there's nothing wrong with giving your child an expensive phone, an expensive tablet, so that your child could be watching YouTube. Or there's nothing wrong, but see what your child is watching on that expensive phone. See what your child is looking at on that expensive tablet. Because it could be something to build him or her, or something to destroy them. It could fall either ways. Your love should not just end at giving your child an expensive gadget. That should not be the definition of your love for your child. You should go further. When your child has logged into YouTube, go and see what he or she is looking at. When your child has logged into Facebook, or has gone to Facebook or TikTok, nowadays, I think TikTok, you don't even have to have an account for you to watch TikTok. You just go there. It's enough that you have an app there. Yeah. And your child is busy doing that, scrolling down. What is this child looking at? A 6-year-old child, 7-year-old child watching TikTok. What exactly is there? So your child should not just be given an expensive gadget and therefore you have done your part as a parent. No, you have not done your part. Actually, you have just started your journey. You are just, if we have to count from 1 to 10, you are just at 2. There's a whole lot of the journey that you have to do now to ensure that your child is protected. We talked about safeguarding. Your child is protected from harmful content. Yeah.
Thank you. Finally, what message would you like to share directly with children watching this program?
Dear child watching this program, the world out there, and when I say the world out there, I mean the virtual community. I mean cyberspace. I mean that community, that social media, that world. That's what I mean. The world out there is not as friendly. Okay? In what sense? Sometimes it is going to have certain things, certain content that will just harm you. Okay? So if you are exposing yourself as a child, as a kid, if you are exposing, and I'm hoping that whichever kid is watching is understanding what I'm saying, okay? If you are watching whatever you're watching on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and on whatever else is there, if you are watching whatever you're watching, is it something that can help you, or that should help you grow responsibly? Do you have the maturity enough that you need for you to be able to tell what is helpful to you and what is not helpful to you? But the bigger message that I would have on this as we conclude is directed towards the parents, the adults. When you have kids around, when you have children that have access to cell phones and all that, what exactly are they looking at? What exactly are they watching? Do you care at all to see what they're watching on TikTok and on YouTube and on Facebook? Do you care to see? Because whatever is there could either make them or destroy them in terms of their morality, in terms of their values. So be present. Don't just give them gadgets. Be present and fully present so that you guide them and you protect them also from anything, any harm in that space that could come towards them.
Dear viewers, I have been your host, Samantha Mumba, now taking you back to Catherine Nyondo.
Thank you, dear viewers. Hope you've learned a lot from this beautiful interview as we commemorate the International Children's Day of Broadcasting under the theme Safeguarding Children in Media and Beyond. Let us remember that every child deserves protection, guidance, and a safe space to express themselves. To all the children watching, your safety matters, your voice is important, and your future is bright. From me, Catherine Nyondo, on behalf of Samantha Mumba and the entire Lumen TV crew, happy International Children's Day of Broadcasting. God bless you. Bye.